destination kind of in the distance up there, Dead Woman's Pass. Hope it's not appropriately named, but it's named because it's supposed to look like a woman laying down up there. Starting out about 6:30 this morning. On our way, very lush green, big rain last night, and clear right now. Got one coming on your left. And a dog. It's a glacier in the distance. Kind of get a look at where we've come from. Up the trail. Misty. And that's where we're going, way up there. Alright, getting into the highland forest. You can see the water in the distance and some beautiful trees with a lot of ferns and more steps. More stairs. Now I see why everybody's breathing heavy on the videos that I watched. You can feel it. It's very much like rainforest up here right now with some incredible scenery. Everything you walk past is like a postcard. But breathing heavy is a little difficult to appreciate it sometimes. And more stairs. Beth being the star, one foot in front of the other. Still trekking along and still in the cloud forest. It's about 7:15 in the morning now. We're supposed to summit Dead Woman's Pass probably about 10 o'clock. We're still working through this wonderful looking cloud forest here and more stairs. Let's check out that view in the distance of the glacier, and they got snow last night when we got rain. It is spectacular. You don't see this from the train. It's remarkable. It's worth every bit of the effort. Except for more stairs. More stairs. We are at the halfway point at 12,500 feet elevation right now, and our destination is to summit that peak in the middle that looks like a woman's breast. That's Dead Woman's Pass, and if you can pick it out, the dark green going right to the left of that peak is the trail, and that's at 13,900 feet. So we've got another 1,400 foot elevation to go, and plan is to hit that at about 10 o'clock, maybe a little earlier.
Yeah, a bit early, maybe.
How you feeling, Beth? Tired. Understandable. The other thing is the view you get from right here is absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. Every aspect of it, every angle of it. First half strenuous, not terribly difficult. The last bit's pretty steep. Then we go down and have lunch. So not any harder particularly than I thought it was going to be thus far. On my way to the infamous Inca toilet. Everybody talks about it. I'm gonna let you have a peek. So, this is what you're in for. Urinal. And then that's where you do your business. Apparently, corn is really popular in the diet here. But it's doable. It's how people have done it for millennia. This is the pace that we're walking at. Not too fast, not too slow, just steady. Beth thinks it's really slow. I think it's the perfect pace. Not any faster than that. You're now at probably getting pretty close to 1,300 feet. Coca leaves definitely help. You chew those up, wet them with saliva, put it in your cheek, and leave it there. Good for about 15 to 30 minutes. And it helps. A little more stamina. It helps with the altitude sickness. Haven't felt any of that since the first day. A little short on air today though. A lot of steps going up to that pass. And lunch. All right. Breathing a little heavy. Down at the bottom down there is where we had our rest with the mountains in the background. And you can see one of the other tour companies coming up behind us here. So right now at about 13,000 feet apparently. A little bit more to go. Every step is a new personal record. I've got a friend, Doug Stepp, who is trying to climb every 1,400 in the US. That is one tough hombre. There's not a lot of air up here. It's strenuous, but it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. These are the steep steps. Got to go like just one rock at a time because you're pretty high. Not a lot of air up here. Take frequent breaks. Like I need frequent. Every 20 feet or so. You're coming from all the way down there. It's beautiful and strenuous, but doable. Piece of cake. That was the hard part. That's a long way down. As AC/DC says, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Not much farther. All right, this last little bit can seriously put a boot in your ass. But there's the peak. It's the drive for the summit right here.
Almost there.
She's driving on. Here it is. And there's the marker. All right. Hoo-yah!
Made it. Wait. What a piece of cake.
All right. Here's the marker.
Yeah.
I'm getting my hands on this bad boy.
Woo.
Thank you, sir.
Made it.
Booyah!
Great. Elevation.
Right there.
Great job. That's it. So we conquered basically the highest point of the Inca Trail.
Yeah.
Great. Good pace.
Or it conquered us, one or the other.
We did. That's awesome.
After going up for all morning, now you gotta go down, which is challenging in and of itself, but it's easier to breathe. And there's a little more air down here. You can see the trail coursing all the way down into that valley way down there. So I'm probably not going to film as much as I want to watch my footing. Carefully film this going down, kind of give you an idea of what this looks like. For me, this is much, much harder. I think the chance of injury is probably pretty high. Yeah, speak for myself. Beth is like a mountain goat. She's just rolling right on down the hill, pulling way ahead. But that, you can see the trail going down and around. A lot of steps, just a lot of steps. You see a lot of clouds kind of rolling up into the valley. We just finished lunch and a short siesta. Nice little place there. And now we've got to go up into that. and then down again. And then we're going to camp tonight at, I think, around 11,000 feet or so. It's supposed to be the coldest night. Be right at about freezing or 1 or 2 degrees above that. So that's what we got. Beth in the lead on her favorite going uphill. As we go up, you can see the clouds really starting to come in on us now. Can't even see the valley anymore. Can't really see the peak we're headed to either. Coming over some small wooden bridges. Working our way to an Inca site right up there, which is about the halfway point. So I'm sure these are all OSHA approved and Bill Abbott approved. He would not like this. And there's no handrails, just steep steps. Oh boy, more stairs. But looking in the distance, you can see the 2 peaks. Right between them is Dead Woman's Pass, where we came from earlier today, and made our way down past that waterfall, all the way down there, and then back up here up these steps. And we're getting close to an Inca site, which will be about the halfway point for us, going up and over this peak at about 13,000 feet. Okay, this is mountain number 2 today. After going up to almost 14,000 feet and then doing that butt-kicking 2,000 feet descent, we've come back up, way the hell back up here. We're going up about 13,000 feet now for the peak of the second mountain on the second day. Almost there. It's right there. Come on, keep your feet now. Holy smoly. Second one, much harder than the first one actually. Because of that stuff that you put into it for the first one. So here we are. Where's the guy with the coca tea? Alright, we summited number 2 and we're on our way down. Best favorite part.
Very few hills left.
My least favorite part. I don't like this at all. This just beats up the old knees. Anyway, we got a fair way to go. And Carlos says about another 1,500 foot descent somewhere down along the Inca Trail that you can see going off into the distance.
Yeah, there's another site.
And so now we're working our way down into a cave that looks wet. A lot of overhanging rocks. Definitely not OSHA approved. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Beth is back to being her chirpy self again now. She's on the downhill slide here. And back into some sunlight and a pretty steep drop. It's pretty steep. Sayak Marca. It is steep. Again, the air's thin. Clouds are climbing up the mountain at us. And I'm going to stick this over the edge. That's what we got. And then there are the ruins of Sayak Marca up here in the clouds. Hike up was tough. Hike down is going to stink. But we do what we can do. So, looking around, you can get a look, even in the clouds, of all the mountains and peaks
Dragon clouds.
that sit around us. And you can see them up in the tops of the clouds there. Yeah, this is less than pleasant. Beth just slipped on this scant moments ago because this rock wall pushes you out towards this ledge, which I don't know why I'm filming while I'm walking. So I'm going to stop. Coming to that smaller Inca site that you could see from Sayak Marca, and another great little bridge right here. What's that? Oncha Marca. Alrighty. Alright. We've arrived at the campsite. 8 miles, but a hard 8 miles. That's a lot of up and down, 2 mountains in one day. Some pretty good Inca sites. And to finish off with another pretty spectacular view. Day 2 in the bag.